Can you guys see that? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we can see that.
So welcome. My workshop is on team building and I will be the facilitator. So to start off, I will be talking a little bit about myself and then I'll let you guys introduce yourselves to one another. My name is Jaslyn Martinez. My pronouns are she, hers. I am 21 years old and I am a senior at California State University, Northridge. I am a communication studies major and my research focuses on team building. I guess some little background is that, or some hobbies that I enjoy to do is drawing and reading sometimes. But yeah, if anyone would like to go, feel free to go.
I'll go first. My name is Victoria Herrera. I'm 21 years old. I go to Pierce College. My major is biology. And my hobbies are reading and watching Disney Plus.
Hello, everyone. My name is Celeste Martinez. I am currently 18 years old and a freshman at Cal State University of Northridge. I am an exploratory major, but I'm trying to figuring out what to do. But I'm thinking of majoring into finance and business. My pronouns are she and her, and my hobbies would be listening to music, watching films, and reading as well.
Hello, my name is Valeria Gonzalez. I am also 21 years old. I am a senior at Mount St. Mary's University, and my major is criminology with a minor in psychology. And some hobbies that I have would be reading when I'm not doing school stuff, drawing, and TV and music.
Hi, my name is Bianca. I am 21 years old. I go to California State University, Northridge, and some of my hobbies are drawing and playing video games.
Hi, my name is Brenny Jimenez. I am 21 years old and I'm a senior at Cal State Northridge. I am majoring in child development and minoring in family studies. And some of my hobbies are listening to music and watching TV.
Nice to meet you all. So to start off, I will give a little overview of the topics that we will try to discuss during this workshop. They are team building, effective team building, diversity and inclusivity, role of communication, and then we will try to close it off. So the objectives that I hope to get from you guys is to aid in allowing others to identify the components that demonstrate a team, creating an understanding on the importance of teams and characteristics that make an effective team, as well as gaining skills to overcome obstacles that may be encountered within teams, and trying to understand the role that communication plays in team building, as well as just trying to understand the concepts of teams. So to start it off, what is team building? Team building is a process of individuals working together as a team. It is an interaction among individuals who carry out tasks. It is the undertaking of tasks to improve social relations. Team building also brings people together by encouraging collaboration and teamwork. The purpose of it is to boost motivation, develop their strengths, and try to identify any weaknesses that may be present. It also opens opportunities for like many advantages. Some advantages include the ability to identify strengths, weaknesses, develop communication skills, participation, or collaboration, establishing roles and responsibilities, as well as instigating creative thinking and problem-solving skills and improving productivity. Strengths and weaknesses are very important when it comes to team building because they help to decide which roles would be better to take on by members and how to exhibit or progress in these particular roles. The way that team building helps to identify strengths and weaknesses is by Being able to analyze the competencies within each member, which then later corresponds to the effectiveness of the team. When identifying weaknesses, these can be the areas of focus that can be worked on to improve oneself. And by gaining a better understanding, it allows greater functionality, which permits the team to grow. Each member in the team is like another resource or tool that the team members can benefit from to make better and suitable choices. When you have people working together, there is a great deal of opportunity for individuals to learn from each other because collaboration in the team requires feedback and viewpoints from various team members. And as a result, individuals are effectively connecting cross-functional teams. Also because no two people have the same ideas, knowledges, or like experiences. Since these ideas are being transferred between individuals, it enables them to expand their skills much more faster. Another advantage would be the development of communication and participation. Communication refers to the exchange of information between individuals, and participation can be referred to the act of joining others in doing something. And collaborative communication can create a much more effective and flexible working environment. By holding regular team meetings and planning sessions, it provides opportunities to set expectations, clarify responsibilities, or learn what other team members are doing, and when possible, try to help each other out. Through team building, there is this enhancement with interpersonal relationships, and by interpersonal relationships, we mean a social connection between individuals, which improves effective communication. With communication, it allows team members to feel much more comfortable with one another, and as for participation, it causes the development of trust and understanding within teams. This definition then extends to team members working together and setting procedures to make decisions that all members agree on for a greater purpose. In addition, participation also improves the way a team works together and problem solves. This leads to more innovation, efficient processes, increased success, and improved communication. Through listening to and learning from team members, you can help each other teach your team's goals and objectives. Lastly, participation challenges people to think, articulate, and receive any sort of clarity about their competencies, and can even serve as a mirror that can reflect any strengths or weaknesses. A third advantage of team building would be the establishment of roles and responsibilities. Team roles and responsibilities refers to the tasks associated their role within the group. Defined roles and responsibilities provides clarity, order, and expectations to those executing the work and keeping the team uninterrupted. Roles and responsibilities enables effective communication between various members, which facilitates the full integration of the group. Within teams, there are a number of roles and tasks that each member is assigned and expected to accomplish or carry out. These individual responsibilities lets everyone know what is expected of them from the group, and within the group, they know how to perform, what they need to accomplish, and how to reach the group's goals. Also, people work together better when they understand their roles, and there's less possibilities of encountering conflict as tasks are equally distributed. And there is this overall greater creativity when everyone acknowledges their responsibility. In addition, by everyone being assigned a role, they are able to comprehend the accountability that they each hold, and this allows for the task to be completed at a much smoother pace and allows for an effective team. In addition, people tend to cooperate more effectively, and individuals have far more respect for team members when they can see the vital part that they each play in the group's overall success. As a result, the environment is more respectful, positive, collaborative, and creative. And the most significant benefit of defining team roles and responsibilities is eliminating confusion. If everyone clearly understands what they should be working towards, their time is going to be utilized much more effectively, and in turn, this makes the team more productive. Team building also instigates creativity and problem solving. Creativity is referred to the tendency to generate or recognize ideas, alternatives, or possibilities that may be useful in solving problems, communicating with others, and socializing ourselves with others. Creativity also inspires employees to work with each other, and as they have new ideas, they seek our group members for their feedback. As a result, the creative process encourages collaboration, and this is one of the most important benefits of offering a team where creative thinking can occur. Generally, the most important aspect of creativity is how it affects the work productivity. With the ability to think creatively and outside the box, individuals are more likely to come up with unique and innovative solutions to obstacles that they may encounter. This eagerness to solve problems can lead to new ways to accomplish tasks and run the team much more effectively. Problem solving can be defined as the act of defining a problem, determining the cause of the problem, identifying, prioritizing, and selecting any sort of alternative for a solution. Brainstorming and team problem solving techniques are both useful tools in problem solving. When people work together in teams, they can not only solve problems, but they may also create less problems or to begin with. Less conflict, less disputes, and less disruptive behaviors are also outcomes of trying to solve these problems. And in general, people who solve problems are less likely to create them as an outcome. There is a higher chance to avoid any oncoming issues. The last advantage would be the enhancement of productivity. Productivity is the efficiency of carrying out a task, and it measures the input of an individual. Productivity in teamwork is important because if members who work effectively with one another have the capacity for increased productivity, successful teams comprise members to have an understanding of their own roles and responsibilities in the group, and with working in collaborative fashion, effective teams have the ability to agree on goals and plans allowed to divide the work equally and work together to develop new ideas and concepts. In this way, each team makes a contribution to the organizational productivity and effectiveness. And the idea of teamwork itself improves productivity. Team members also who work together or near each other tend to be more productive, despite the fact that they, in a sense, may even be working individually. Just simply knowing that they are part of a group that share common goals influences each member to improve and increase each other's productivity. It is clear to see how these advantages go hand in hand. There is this relationship and interconnection between each concept. And I guess, where does team building take place? Relatively, it can take place anywhere, such as a workplace, education, or events. In education, such as projects, when we get assigned to do school projects with our groups. An organizational example would be businesses and business meetings where they have to get together to try to create plans for their successful business. And a non-organizational event would be something like escape rooms where people go to have fun and they need to solve clues to try to become successful to get out of the room. And the significance of team building is that it promotes cooperation, strengthens bonds between members, and encourages collaboration instead of just cooperation. It also enhances social relations, it increases motivation, it advances leadership skills, and it is a great opportunity to build connections. As mentioned before, that there are different roles of team building, and I will be discussing 5 of the roles, which are team leader, coach, motivator, facilitator, and challenger. The team leader makes sure that the team has clear objectives and members are engaged to ensure for the best possible outcomes. They are responsible for the team and team building, and they have the responsibility to discover about any strengths or weaknesses or skill sets of the team members. By figuring out this information empowers members to make better decisions, provide a much more effective performance, and it ensures that every member in the team can move forward. Also, they must try to develop strong interpersonal relations among his peers and allow for trust. They must encourage communication and interaction among team members, which improves any team building activities or correspondence. The team leader also defines any goals and objectives of the team, and they have to vocalize the different roles of each team member. The coach establishes the vision and provides guidance steps throughout the team building process properly to execute the objectives. And the organization's performance also improves to a great extent because team coaching reinforces the skills and strengths of the individuals. This later allows them to perform better at trying to achieve their goals or meeting any objectives that are set. The relationship between the coach and the team members is also strengthened, and the bond among the team becomes a vital role because it shows as a supportive climate for the team. And in a supportive climate, the individuals and team members can share their views and communicate in a much better way. Coaching in teams also ensures that team members value and appreciate each other's skills and uniqueness, and team members who appreciate each other are not only efficient with their work, but they also support one another. The motivator eases tension, they promote balance and encourages development. When you have a motivated team, they are much more willingly to put in the work and time required to run a successful group. The way in which a motivator carries out the role is by improving at communicating, recognizing the individuals, creating a positive environment, encouraging members and giving them opportunities to grow. That being that they are not dismissing them in any way. And when workers or team members feel engaged and motivated, there's usually a corresponding increase in productivity. And with motivation, there can be results of more cooperation and participation as people feel this encouragement. As for the facilitator plans, guides, and manages a group to ensure that the group's objectives are met effectively. And the importance of a facilitator is that a facilitator can help members of a group get to know each other and learn to cooperate. And facilitation is important because when there is an involvement of large groups of people, it can be difficult to not only organize, but control when they are in progress. The facilitator also makes sure that the objectives and goals are being aimed and the paths are being correctly taken, ensuring that the team doesn't get off track or off topic, which helps lead to a successful outcome. In a sense, the facilitator and coach also work together in making sure that the vision is being achieved through a rightful process. Lastly, the challenger questions effectiveness and pushes for results. A challenger can produce creative and diverse responsiveness by being able to naturally feel and express different points of view. A challenger widens the range of right or wrong choices or thinking. And in other words, the challenger opens up room for conversation by promoting the idea of new perspectives despite the accuracy, and this may be difficult at sometimes. Individuals may feel as if they may be incorrect with their thinking or ideas, but the challenger makes sure that there is this establishment of comfortability, so they feel secure enough to voice their opinions or any ideas that they may have. In addition, the challenger exhibits a positive environment where there isn't any form of invalidation or negative views towards others. And with the challenger questioning things, it provokes individuals to actively think and listen, and can even go as far enough to spark some sort of creativity as the individuals and the teams are being debated in a sense. The importance of these roles are that they help assure for the best possible outcomes during team building. They also allow team building to be much more effective, and they hold each other accountable. Each have a responsibility and individually affects the outcome of team building. When each team member has an assigned role, they feel much more appreciated by the other team members. since there are deadlines being met and they're trying to complete their tasks. This positive feedback from other team members also motivates each of these individuals to continue to excel in their work so that they will continue to be appreciated as a valuable member of the team. Of course, with team building, there will be the possibility of encountering some obstacles. As we know, team building cannot always be an easy task. There can be conflict, unproductivity, non-cooperation, or a lack of cooperation, and the absence of accountability. Some problems that can lead to these obstacles are lack of trust, conflict and tension, the withholding of information, low engagement, poor time management, lack of transparency, short-term thinking, and bad delivery. The way in which these obstacles get in the way of an effective team are that the lack of trust. Trust is an important factor that contributes within relationships, including team building. Lack of trust reduces transparency and communication, which can lead to low innovation and lack of agility and responsiveness to changing conditions. Also, with lack of trust, problems can go unaddressed and team building can become negatively impacted because there is this avoidance of communication. Additionally, with lack of trust, there's this disencouragement, which then leads to team members not wanting to further develop their skills or build strong interpersonal relationships, and it can cause discredit. Conflict and tension. Conflict can be defined as a clashing or disagreement between individuals or a group of people. A conflict arises when individuals have varied interests, opinions, or different viewpoints, and they're not willing to compromise with each other. Conflict in general intenses enough to disrupt some aspect of the relationship, such as communication, which is what differentiates it from having just one viewpoint. Conflict can also lead to uncomfortability, which takes away from having the ability of a positive and open environment. This then leads to stress, affecting the possibility of having a successful and effective team. And with unresolved conflict, it promotes tensions within individuals and the relationships. Tension is referred to as a strained relationship between groups or individuals. With tensions, individuals may feel less motivated as these negative emotions are taking place and getting in the way of positive relationships within team members. Emotions can oftentimes be difficult to manage, especially in a place where professionalism takes place. And there's no area for negative emotions to arise, as it affects everyone, not just the person themselves. Thus, it depends on the success of a team. With withholding information, there is this lack of clarity or knowledge among individuals, and this can then lead to confusion or inefficient time usage, which prohibits the possibility for a team to be carried out smoothly. Therefore, it is important for people to share any ideas or information that they may have, or encourage one another to speak out. And by withholding information, this then can lead back to conflict and tension between individuals, because they may start to feel a particular way towards a person as they are not cooperating or putting in the effort to try to make the team better. Engagement can be referred to as the action of engagement or being engaged, or in other words, collaborating. And in return, lack of engagement can be defined as failure or refusal to engage with someone or something. With lack of engagement, there is no room for cooperation or participation, which affects the level of interpersonal relationships, which is damaging as a team building urges for some sort of relationship building among members. With no engagement, there isn't much productivity, as people are not being interactive with each other, leading to the possibility of having a failed team or even an unsuccessful team. Some signs of low engagement include doing the bare minimum or little to none of the works assigned in groups, taking many breaks, exhibiting negative feelings, lack of contribution, focusing on other things other than the roles or tasks that were assigned. And the quality of work is just overall poor. And poor time management means not being able to plan accordingly, which can cause negative emotions such as stress, as mentioned before. Feeling stressed and overwhelmed leads to poor decision-making. With poor decision-making comes greater issues like a disrupted team, poor productivity, strained relationships, and missed opportunities, which hinders their ability. In addition, with poor decisions, it signifies poor leadership skills and individuals in the teams and their progress aren't being checked upon. Lack of transparency is a huge obstacle within teams. Where transparency is missing, so is trust. And when team members don't trust their leaders or each other, it creates a feeling of unsafetyness, and as a result, they're withholding what they really think and feel. With lack of transparency and communication, it is when individuals deliberately hide or withhold any relevant information from the group and the team leaders, as they are not being transparent. And when this occurs, communication is greatly affected because there is dishonesty and misinformation, can then cause misunderstandings within the teams. Short-term thinking is a consideration of only the present moment and not long-term effects, thus not thinking about the future. This is an obstacle because outcomes of success long for future outcomes and growth. But when there is short-term thinking within teams, individuals are not taking into consideration how their availability affects positive outcomes, and by only thinking of the present moment, it gives us inability to further prosper and grow. The viewpoints of endless possibilities becomes quite limited since the results are expected to be that of shortcomings. And lastly, bad delivery refers to improper communication. With poor communication, there is no team because the whole idea of a team is to communicate effectively among others. And this avoids the possibility of encountering the obstacles that were mentioned above, including many more. Despite these disadvantages, there are luckily ways to overcome them, but at the same time, when being able to experience such obstacles, it prompts new ways of developing different skills, as they need to come up with a various number of solutions to surpass these negative encounters. So ways we can surpass obstacles are by being open-minded. By being open-minded, there is an invitation for all. It encompasses some vulnerability. It welcomes new ideas and information. It is non-restrictive and it becomes receptive. Another way is to actively listen. That being that you don't interrupt it in trying to engage with the speaker in any way, such as eye contact or being able to paraphrase and ask questions in return. A third way to surpass this obstacle is by understanding the goal of your team. It helps reflect and identify the important concepts and acknowledge the objectives to try to meet those goals. Another way it would be encouraging communication and ideas, because it urges the team members and the individuals to participate, to observe, recognize, and appreciate each other. And it encourages them to voice their opinions. Also, by building a team culture and strong relationships, it ensures one another to trust, has this sense of reliability. Comfort progresses, a smoother team performance, and conflict resolution. In addition, you can provide regular evaluations to help individuals and teams improve, such as getting to know the leader, embracing the conflict, getting space if needed, finding some sort of neutrality, as well as actively listening and trying to control your emotions or feelings in any way possible. In addition, by determining goals, we won't get backtracked. There's this understanding on the set outcomes. It keeps oneself and others in check, and there is a long-term vision that is set. It helps individuals stay organized, and it guides focus, as well as maintaining the ability to be clear, and it avoids confusion. Lastly, we can set expectations, and by doing so, it builds up trust, it eliminates or reduces confusion, and it provides clarity, and there is non-judgment. So for this portion, I want you guys to share about any time you guys have participated in team building or any experiences, what worked and what didn't. What would you have changed, if anything? If so, and why? And thoughts about working in teams, positive, negative, anything?
Recently I did experience teamwork on a project for political science where we had to pretend that we were Republicans talking about climate change. It did work out at the end, but also it didn't. One of the members did not want to participate, so I would say that would be a negative. I do have mixed feelings when it comes to group work because it's all about trusting others to put in their part, put in their work as a whole. Sometimes they won't do their part, so it kind of like I do have that kind of mixed feeling about that.
I can also connect with her because recently I also had a group project to do on like women's contributions to this, like Spain's independence and stuff. But there was some team members in my team who didn't contribute at all, and they would do things last minute. So I would get stressed out because I don't know if they were doing it right or not. But the positive thing is that I had other team members in there, and they would also be just trying to help me and others around us as well. So I think that's good, but for the most part, I'm not really into group projects just because of that sense.
I also recently had a project for my juvenile delinquency class, and there's been a lot of like group work and individual work, but how Victoria said, I feel like group work is kind of like difficult because it is all about trust. Like you have to trust into your classmates that you're going to do your part and you're going to contribute to the group by, completing your part. And that isn't always the case, unfortunately. And for me, when in my project, I was mainly like the one communicating for everybody, like, hey, let's make the slides, let's make the group chat and all that stuff. And there was just a lot of like miscommunication of who was doing what. So it can be difficult, but in a way I do enjoy it because there is that like feedback that you get from your classmates.
I think for me, when it comes to like group work, the main thing is communication. I think that matters when some don't communicate, and it gets difficult within group as as you would hope. So I think one of the make like group project.
Thank you, guys. Do you guys think that taking in roles or adapting roles would have helped you guys with your teams as we discussed before?
I feel that it's kind of hard to distribute roles just because it's kind of like a you grab and like go kind of thing, like you choose what you want to do. I mean, the roles are kind of like, I feel like are easy. It's like, okay, everybody does their part. But the part that's more of a struggle in groups or team building is like, okay, who's gonna be the one kind of in charge, like leading everybody else and assigning things, because that's like the whole trust thing comes again. It's like, okay, yeah, one person can start everything, but who's also going to help that leader in the group? So I feel like tasks and roles being assigned would be very helpful, but it's also like, how do you respectfully in a way say like, okay, if I'm going to do this, what are you going to contribute? Because some can take it to it an offense in a way, like, oh, they're trying to do it all kind of thing. But roles will be really helpful.
Thank you. Would anybody would like to add anything else?
Well, when I was doing my group project, we were actually assigned roles, but the team leader that I had, he wasn't really doing anything. He wouldn't participate. And I was mainly doing like the whole thing on myself and just trying to get everyone to do their own part. So I'd say it's kind of challenging because sometimes when, even if you are assigned your roles, they just don't do it at all. So you have to take up the role and do it yourself. So yeah.
Thank you. Okay, to move on, we will try to talk about effective team building. So as you guys mentioned, you guys have had encountered unsuccessful teams and within groups. In some ways that this can help would be by communication. As you guys mentioned, there was a huge obstacle with miscommunication, misunderstanding, time management, problem solving. Actively listening is very important as well. Critical thinking and just proper collaboration and leadership roles. Do you guys agree that these skills will help create an effective team building, or is there anything else that you guys think can contribute to these factors?
I think that looks good. I think like most of the part, the number one is communication.
Do you know why it would be communication? Would play a huge role in team building?
Because most of the part, like group members don't want to speak up. They rather have I'll have this person talk for me, but like we all have to communicate to finish the project.
Thank you. So to wrap up my presentation, do you guys think attending this workshop will help you guys in the future when it comes to team building, or when you guys are assigned different roles or responsibilities within teams, even if it's outside of education?
I think so, like the creating roles. With my previous encounter with my group project, we tried to put in roles like a leader, facilitator. It didn't really work out due to like the members, some of them didn't want to participate. I ended up being the leader and fixing the Zoom meeting and things like that. So I think when starting a group project, I think the first thing we should do is create a roles for everybody.
I believe that the Zoom was very helpful for all of us because we learned like different perspectives or like different things that we can do differently when it comes to team building and communication and other skills that we can interpret that maybe we haven't in the past. So I did learn a lot from this workshop, and I feel like it is also going to be used outside of school and jobs. So it is beneficial in many ways outside of the classroom.
Would anyone else like to add, or any ideas?
I
I
also
think
agree
this
because,
workshop was,
oh, sorry, you can keep talking.
sorry, I think my connection is going a bit slow, but I was just gonna say that the workshop was like very informative on like team building. I think it will be very beneficial in school and in my future.
I agree with what everyone said. I also agree that communication plays a huge role when doing an effective team building because we all need to know what roles we're doing, how we're going to do it, and also how productive we are going to be with our time as well. And it was very informative, as Brittany said. And I think it's going to be very beneficial as well in future team building projects that I will be taking on.
Well, thank you guys for coming to my workshop, and I hope it will be beneficial for you guys in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.